What's going on, y'all? I am back with another video. Man, 3 days in a row, that must be some sort of world record for me. But hey, man, I've been having time. School's been slight, so we are going to keep cranking out these videos in with the draft right around the corner. Finally hit April. But yeah, today we got Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 big board for the NFL draft as of, like I said, April 1st. So we got to see how he's feeling currently, and we'll give thoughts and opinions on it. Starting off with, I guess, the very first thing is Chase Besances is leaving the top 50. I'm cool with that. I don't have a top 50 grade on Besances. He's like, I believe, a late second for me, maybe around 63, 64. So I'm in agreement. But number 50, Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver out of Alabama. I like Jeremy Bernard. I believe Bernard is currently sitting at my wide receiver 11, which really the guys from like an ironic number, but well, I guess I can switch it. 9 to 13 are very close to me with guys like Ted Hurst, Chris Brazzell. Then you got guys that are more similar to each other in like Jeremy Bernard, Elijah Surratt, Malachi Fields. So yeah, I'm not quite this high, but he is in my top 75. He's around, I believe, number 68 for me personally. But in the top 50, I don't hate it. Bernard is excellent in traffic, good hands, good route runner for his size and physicality. He's just not really a big play threat, really, ever, and he's not the most explosive player ever either. So number 50 feels all right. All right, let's go to number 49, and it's going to be R. Mason Thomas, and he is saying he moved him down 3 spots. R. Mason Thomas is barely in my top 75. So, yeah, I am nowhere close to a top 50 grade. He's in the 70s for me. It's really the size concerns. He's not like, I mean, one, he didn't dominate like a Cassius Howe. He was good last year, but not to a Cassius Howe level. His arms are around Cassius Howe's as well, being what, like 30 and 7/8, I believe, which is better than Howe. But like, he's a lesser athlete than Howe. He also is not the best run defender in the world, and he's got extraordinary short arms for the NFL standard. So, just not a guy. He feels like an outlier that he would have to really go against everything that has been proven with the NFL in the past 25, 30 years. So, wish him the best of luck. I'm not on the fan train. I have a third round grade on him. All right, number 48. Whoa. Okay, this one's for me personally the worst one out of all. Antonio Williams out of Clemson, and I get we're only 3 spots in. It'll get worse for me, I'm sure. But Antonio Williams isn't like a top 90 grade for me. I get it. He's a good yak receiver out of the slot. He's got very good speed. There's a lot of guys in this class, and there are several that do it better than Antonio Williams in my book personally. Casey Concepcion clearly does. If you want to toss Makai Lemon in there because he's a yak receiver, same with Omar Cooper, Zachariah Branch, 100% for me. And then I would even, and I know I am a 1000% way out here outlier being on this player's hype train, but I think Kevin Coleman is even a better receiver than Antonio Williams. And that could burn me pretty bad because it seems like the consensus is higher on Williams. He's like right around spot 100 on my big board. So 48 to me is way too rich. I would really never consider taking him in the second round if I was an NFL team, which I'm not. I'm over here on YouTube recording videos. So there you go. But yeah, just not a guy I would have any interest, one, having in top 50, two, even in the second round, three, even in the top 75 for me personally. All right, number 47. Let my guy, Daniel Jeremiah. I thought I was high on Keelan Rutledge, having him around spot 52 on my big board. DJ's got him at 47. I love this. I'm a big time Keelan Rutledge fan. It's a guy that's been as high as like 39. I kind of came back to life, back down to earth, I guess, with the ranking around the 50s. My big thing is I recently found out, shout out Broshmo, I did not know Keelan Rutledge almost had to get his foot amputated in I believe it was a car accident or some sort of accident over a year ago. But then again, like he played the whole entire season and he looked awesome. And he's a pretty good athlete, but he's known for his strength on the interior and his mauling ability. So, yeah, Rutledge is someone I can definitely get behind being this high. And I'm very happy to see him in a top 50 because I don't feel like it's all that common. All right, number 46 for DJ Malachi Lawrence, another player. I mean, we're damn near arguably on the same spot for Malachi Lawrence, and I should probably be paying attention to the right screen because that's what y'all are looking at. So apologies for that before. But yeah, Malachi Lawrence is an awesome player to me. He had around a 36% true win rate last year, which is nuts, a like 20% actual win rate, which is awesome. But then he's also arguably the best athlete off the edge in the whole entire draft. Incredible combine performance, 6'4", 255, real lengthy dude. I'm definitely on the Malachi Lawrence hype train. Now, I ain't no Hail Mary Sports on the train where he's got like a top 10 grade on him, but Lawrence definitely cracks my top 50 as well, and he's probably closer. Nah, I mean, he very well might be my number 46 player as well, so I'm in agreement with this. Number 45, okay. All right, this is like the reverse of Antonio Williams. Antonio Williams being in the top 50 at a, what was it, 47, 48, whatever it was, 48, I believe. I'm like, I don't know. I got him around 100. This is the polar opposite. I have a top 25 grade on Zion Young. He's my number 20 player in the entire class. No explanation for me to be sold on Zion Young. He's 6'6, 265, great build for an edge rusher. The length checks out. The athleticism certainly checks out. He is a game wrecking run defender, but also an awesome pass rusher at Mizzou. I don't know why Zion Young doesn't have the hype to go in the first round. He is a utterly phenomenal player, in my opinion. So 45 to me is way too low. I would have, like I said, me personally, I have him number 20 overall in the class. All right, Keontae Scott out of Miami. He barely misses my top 50. He's sitting around 60, but I like Keontae Scott. He is older prospect. Could be viewed as just a nickel, or potentially, I think he could even move to safety because of his dynamic skill set that he showed off at Miami. I just don't think the ceiling's that high. It's kind of like what you see out of Keontae Scott in college. That's what it's going to be. I don't see his game ever elevating from what it is currently. He's a little undersized. He's like, what, 5'11, 190. So that might be tough to play safety. But like I said, if you have him in the nickel, I feel pretty confident Keontae Scott will do a really good job. And yeah, I mean, I don't 44 is not the worst thing ever. I mean, like I said, I have a second round grade on him. So really, I mean, you can start to argue players from like 39 to like 75 are all like kind of the same tier of player in this year's class. So I'm not mad at this at all, having Scott in the top 50. Brandon Cisse at 43. I thought he'd be a little bit higher, honestly. Brandon Cisse is a guy I like a ton. I believe he's my number 32 overall prospect in the class. I love his upside, man. He is such a good athlete. He can get physical with you on the outside. Now he's had his flaws. Like the Texas A&M tape was utterly terrible. He got abused all game long, multiple big plays. That's a part of the game for a growing young corner. I mean, he's going to have to develop. I would prefer he goes to a system that is known for developing corners rather than being tossed in the fire potentially. So yeah, Cisse at 43 is not too bad. I'm a little higher on Cisse personally, but yeah, I mean this is perfectly fine and very well could be the range Cisse ends up going in the draft. Oh, Caleb Banks dropping 6 spots. I mean, there was a time people were trying to push Caleb Banks to like the top 15, and I have never been there. The highest I got was, I believe, around 28 on my big board. Then he broke his foot again. And that's been the ongoing problem with Caleb Banks. He cannot stay healthy. So I don't know how to feel about Caleb Banks. I trust the top four defense tackles a hell of a lot more than I do Banks, but the athleticism and upside is undeniable. The end of the 2024 season tape was absolutely elite, where he was posting up like a 20% true win rate. So I understand the hype with Caleb Banks. He just has not been able to stay healthy whatsoever so far. So probably a guy that, yeah, this is about the right range. I mean, I very well might have him actually at pick 42 on the dot or spot 42 on the dot on my big board. Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez. There we go. Now we're talking. All right, J Rod making an appearance. I have a first round grade on Jacob Rodriguez. I know some people are down. My thing is, the whole reason y'all were down on him was the athleticism. He goes to the combine and posts over a 9 RAS score. We know the tape's elite. I mean, he forced 10 turnovers as a middle linebacker last season for Texas Tech. He damn near could have won the Heisman as a middle linebacker. Yeah, he's an older prospect. He's not the biggest guy in the world. The dude is a good football player. He knows how to play the game of football. He's very instinctive. He's very savvy. I like that in my middle linebacker. He's an absolute leader in the locker room. I'm all in on Jacob Rodriguez. So, yes, another player in my top 50. I wonder who's going to be the highest player he has on his top 50 that doesn't crack mine. If I had to guess, I'd probably guess CJ Allen is in here for him. This is another one I hate solely for the purpose of the Zion Young argument. I have Chris Johnson, number 19, on my big board. I don't know what I'm missing with Chris Johnson. The tape is elite. Oh, he played at San Diego State. I don't care. Y'all made that same argument to me with Quinion Mitchell when I had him as my number one overall defender in his class and number 9 on my big board. Oh, but he plays at Toledo. Oh, he's already 23. His game translated because he's a dog. Chris Johnson went to the combine, ran a 4.4 flat, so the speed checks out. The tape at the Senior Bowl was also good. He was sticking in coverage over there. The tape in actual football, which I prefer that tape, he's elite. He destroys his competition no matter who it is. I don't understand why Chris Johnson isn't a 100% first round pick in this year's class. It is truly mind boggling to me. And like I said, I'm 21 spots higher than than DJ. So yeah, I mean, Chris Johnson, holy, I read Jeremiah Love for a second. I was like, what is going on? All right, Jadarian Price. Price does not crack my top 50 personally, but he's damn close. I believe he's in the late 50s, early 60s. I do like Jadarian Price. It really took me long to get on the bandwagon because I'm like, man, this dude has a limited role behind Jeremiah Love, which everybody would, but he fumbles the ball a good bit. He put the ball on the ground 3 times last year. He didn't get a lot of pass catching work last season. It's more one of those things you just really, 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 really got to look at all his carries and be like, oh, like he just doesn't get the volume because of Jeremiah Love, which you might say, no shit, but like you would think Jeremiah Love's not known for his pass catching at all. So you would think Jadarian Price would have got more work. Notre Dame really didn't provide it at all, which I mean, I get you got best running back in college football behind you. You got Eli Raridan, who I like a lot as a blocking tight end that can release and be a threat down the field. Malachi Fields, big body threat on the other side. It's just a lot of mouths to feed. But when he really got the ball and I started to look past the fumbles, because I cannot stand players that fumble a ton, especially with track records of it, that just grinds my gears. Price is the second best running back in this class behind his teammate. I'm not this high on him, but he certainly is. All right, 38. Okay, Ty Simpson I figured would be in here at some point. He's not in my top 50 personally, but he's damn close. He's like around 55. So yeah, I mean, I have no problem with this. Clearly it's weighted with quarterback. Quarterback's just naturally going to be weighted higher because of the value. It's more valuable than any other position in sport. Maybe all of them added up in football. So yeah, the quarterback means everything. So ranking him higher because of that, I understand. Ty Simpson, I don't know. I can't even boost him that high because if I went strictly off talent, Ty Simpson would probably fall in like the 70s on my big board. He's undersized quarterback. His arm isn't elite. His mobility solid. It's not the best. He does have great touch. He's got pretty good mechanics, like Daniel Jeremiah mentions. I can't get over the first two things. He's small and he doesn't have a live arm. That normally does not equal success in the NFL. Hell, Tua was the outlier forever and his body started to break down on him. And now he's completely fallen off the wagon, making a minimum contract, battling with Michael Penix for a spot. So it's like, I'm starting to have a really hard time trusting these small guys because, I mean, they really are getting tossed aside to a Kyler Murray. I mean, who's the most successful one currently? Bryce Young, he's not a top 15, maybe not even a top 20 quarterback currently. So, yeah, I don't know personally with Ty. Wow. I mean, this is crazy. Peter Woods falling to 37. I understand it, man. Like the 2025 season wasn't what we have seen in past years. He lost a lot of weight and tried to change his play style. It didn't really work out. Then he goes to the combine in his pro day and it doesn't look good. I can't look past what I saw in 2023 and 2024. The eyes don't lie. They don't. And based on that tape I saw in 23, 24, this is a top 5 player in the draft. I don't have him top 5. I have a top 20 grade on him though, so 37 is just a little too crazy in a weak draft class not to bank on the upside you've seen in past years. I really hope Peter Woods bounces back because he really was one of the best players in the whole entire draft before this season, and a lot has went wrong for him, but I have a lot of faith he can bounce back and get back to shape. My hair looks fucking crazy. Just notice that. But we don't care about Birch Sports hair. All right, 36 for Daniel Jeremiah is going to be Lee Hunter. Another place where I'm almost spot on with him. I believe Lee Hunter's number 33 on my big board, so I'm a couple spots higher. He's just the true nose tackle. He's going to defend the run at a very high level. He's not going to be much as a pass rusher. He looks a lot like Christian Wilkins, like almost like a scary amount like Christian Wilkins in that picture. Like that, that's kind of crazy. But that's besides the point. Like I said, he's not a good athlete at all. But man, he's big as hell, and he's gonna stuff up the run. He's gonna cause havoc in the middle. There's a lot of teams that could use that on the interior of their defensive line. So I'm still definitely a fan of Lee. All right, Maxi and Nacho are 35th overall. I'm fine with this. I mean, Maxi and Nacho is a project through and through. He's in the 40s on my big board personally. I'm wondering where he has Blake Miller. I mean, I'd assume a couple spots from now if Ian is at 35 because they feel so similar. But yeah, I mean, he's a project. He is a project through and through. Like DJ said, he really didn't pick up football till like the end or shit. I mean, I didn't even know that. I thought it was like the end of high school. It was junior college. Wow. I feel like I've definitely said that before though. So I probably did know it. Maybe I forgot. But yeah, I mean, he's so new to the sport, but he's taken so many massive strides in the past couple of years, and especially at the Senior Bowl, he was dominating dudes at the Senior Bowl. So it's like I do understand why you would potentially take him in the first round. He's just not a first round talent as of right now, but it could be a big time payoff down the road. All right, 34, Avion Terrell. I think, does he mention the hamstring pull? Maybe I'm blind. I don't think he does. So he just moved Terrell down naturally. I did move Terrell down as well, like 5 spots on my big board. Now that he hurt his hamstring right before the NFL draft, hamstrings can be very tough to recover from. They can linger throughout your whole career and cause hell. So it's like I do worry potentially about the long term health, but Terrell, I think, is going to be a potential. I don't want to say superstar, but like Pro Bowl doesn't even hold weight. He's going to be a very good nickel corner in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't know if I trust him on the boundary at his size, being like 5'11, 185, but I feel great about him starting in the nickel. And there's a lot of good nickel corners in this class. So, man, I mean, if Terrell's here, I would assume DJ, like I said, blind reaction. I'd assume he probably doesn't even have D'Angelo Ponce or Traden Stukes in his top 50. All right, Caden McDonald at 33. He did move him up 6 spots. I just don't think he moved him up high enough. I have a top 25 grade on Caden McDonald. Love the player. He's like Lee Hunter, kind of on steroids. He's a better pass rusher than Lee and a way, way, way better athlete than Lee Hunter as well. And he's 2 years younger. So I think Caden McDonald, to me personally, should be a lock in the first round. I think he could be someone that goes surprisingly high. Like maybe the Cowboys at 12 shock people. Maybe the Rams are looking for a long term Puna Ford replacement at 13. The Vikings at 18 feels very realistic. The Bears at 25 feels around the floor. Texans certainly at 28 feels around the floor. So 33, I think, is cutting them a little too short, in my opinion. Whoa. That shocked me. I mean, I love Anthony Hill. He's my overall third linebacker in the class behind Sonny Styles and Jacob Rodriguez. Just such a good athlete, 6'2", 240 pounds. Been very productive. His 24 tape was awesome. 25, he took a step back. He's somewhat of a stiff athlete, but not nearly as stiff as a like CJ Allen. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised to see him with, I mean, technically, I mean, it's not a first round grade, it's just a technical first round pick if you go based on the top 32, which it's not a mock draft. So maybe he only views 10 guys as first round grades. You really know, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's probably just a bad analogy on my part, and I apologize. I have Ant Hill in the 50s. I thought I was relatively high on him. This blows what I have out of the water. So props to DJ for loving him. I'm just not all the way here with him. All right, Keldrick Falk will crack. I mean, I assumed he did just because Daniel Jeremiah has a large part with like popular mock drafts. So it's like you gotta keep guys like this high regardless of what you really think of them. And I'm not trying to shit on Keldrick Falk. Like I have him around 40 on my big board, maybe even 39. I just don't think he's this high personally. And I think they're in this situation around my 31 best player to 39. There definitely is a tier drop off personally. So yeah, Keldrick Falk's a good run defender, a very good one at that. He's versatile. He's a pretty good athlete for being 6'6", 275 pounds. Probably will add like 10 pounds back and be able to play inside and outside at a better weight. It's 275 is a little sketch for the interior, but yeah, Falk is a full upside pick, kind of like what Anthony Hill is at 32 as well. All right, 30. Yeah, I mean, I figured he was going to be here. I just totally disagree with it. I have CJ Allen, I believe 65 on my big board, and I am extremely low on him compared to most, but it's like he's like the same size as Jacob Rodriguez, which I'll shit on Rodriguez for that, so it should be held to the standard for Allen as well. He's nowhere near as good as an athlete. He's very stiff in coverage. He's still got ongoing swelling with his knee. I don't know what's up with that either. He is a Mike linebacker that can be a leader on your defense and defend the run well. That is about it. He does not give you much more than that. Maybe I'm overreacting to the lack of pass coverage skills. We'll have to see. All right, 29. He's got Casey Concepcion. Casey does crack my top 50, just not nearly this high. He's like right around pick 50. I personally, and I've been saying this for really, it feels like months now. I personally think Zachariah Branch is a better player than Casey Concepcion. Like, he's just as good, if not better, of an athlete. Oh, he's 20 pounds lighter. Zachariah Branch put up 20 reps at 225 on the bench. He is way stronger. He drops the ball way less. Oh, he catches the ball around the line of scrimmage. That's what Georgia tells him to do. Have you watched any tape of him as a route runner when he does go down the field? Do you watch the tape of him on the practice field as a route runner? He can run routes, man. Like they just didn't let him utilize it. But yeah, Casey, it's really the drop problem. Very explosive athlete, can be a big play threat. He drops the ball way too much. All right, Cassius Howe at 28. I personally have Cassius Howe around 52 on my big board. I'm not nearly this high. Like I said, like our Mason Thomas, he is a outlier. You don't see edge rushers successful the size Cassius Howe is. I think Cassius Howe can be successful. It's just going to be in a DPR fashion because he doesn't defend the run well either. You go turn on the tape of the Notre Dame football game, all they are looking to do is run the ball to the side Cassius Howe is on. So that should be pretty alarming to, I feel like, a lot of people. He gets picked on as a run defender. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just not this high. 27, Denzel Boston, another guy that's in like the mid 40s for me personally. I don't have Denzel Boston. I wonder, he had to leave a couple like top 30 guys on my board off his top 50, which to each their own, but I don't know. Denzel Boston's not an explosive athlete. He's not a great route runner. He struggles to get open, but he's good at the catch point, which is his role. So there's that. I mean, if that's what you want in a receiver, that's what he's going to be. All right, 26, he's got Caleb Lomu. I think I have Lomu 34, so this is fine to me. It looks like he definitely values tackle up the board, considering I haven't seen Caden Proctor or Blake Miller yet, and I assume they both are on here. But yeah, Caleb Lomu is just reliable. I feel like you could toss him in day one and he will be a solid left tackle. I just don't think he'll ever be a top 10 left tackle in football at any point. He's just old, reliable. If Caleb Lomu, like, he's not going to be your worst starter, but if he's your third or fourth best starter, I think your line's in a good spot. All right, 25. He's got Colton Hood out of Tennessee. I'm cool with this. Colton Hood is a very intriguing player. He's an awesome athlete. He is very good in press coverage. He is awesome around the line of scrimmage. You can't get past Colton Hood. He had like a 4% missed tackle rate, and for a corner, that is muy bien. So yeah, I'm on the Colton Hood hype train. I have him number 32 overall on my board. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this. 24. TJ Parker out of Clemson. So TJ Parker is still pretty high for him. Some people have been trying to drop Parker. Parker, I believe, is a top 25 grade for me. If not, he's around 26 or 27. So I'm in the exact same boat as DJ where I have Parker in my rankings. And you're really banking on that 2024 tape where, like DJ said, he racked up 11 sacks. I mean, he was a whole different animal a year ago, and you're hoping he gets back to that, kind of like what you're doing for his teammate, except the difference is TJ Parker dominated over the offseason process at things like the Senior Bowl. So I still have a lot of faith in TJ to be a good player. All right, 23, Akeem Mesidor. Funny enough, I am exactly the same way. I have Mesidor and Parker back to back, except I give Parker the lean just because I think Mesidor is pretty much at his ceiling as a football player. Like, he's not going to get much better than he currently is, which is totally fine because he is a damn good player right now. He can defend the run, he can rush the passer at a high level. He's probably a first round pick as well. And like I said, I just said Parker's around 26, so that would mean Akeem would be like 27 on my board. So similar range. All right, Caden Proctor out of Alabama is number 22 for Daniel Jeremiah. Damn water bottle's empty. But yeah, Proctor is a super high upside pick. I have him in the 40s on my board. I have a lot of concerns his game might not translate. He's very big, a lot of weight on him, like 6'7", 355 pounds. He gets so much love for being this incredible athlete. It's not true. Like, he is a decent athlete. Like, it's really because of the size. You're like, "Oh my god," but he's no super athlete really at all in terms of being able to move in space. He isn't like Monroe Freeling because he's too heavy. That's why I think Proctor should lose like 15 pounds year one going into his NFL season. But yeah, he's a big time project. If you draft him to a team that has some stability like the Lions or the 49ers, I would like him a lot more. You send him to the fire like the Cleveland Browns, I don't know. Man, I understand it. Jordan Tyson is number 21 on his big board. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. The injuries are scary. The lingering hamstring that seems to not be healing is scary. But damn, oh damn, he is probably one of the five most talented players in the board, and I can't drop him on my big board. I try to, but there's no justifying, in my opinion, to put Cardinal Tate and Makai Lemon. I get availability is the best ability. If Jordan Tyson figures out how to be available more often, he's by far the best play, like the best receiver in the draft by a landslide. His talent is like so many levels above. He's a great athlete. He's 6'2", 205, true boundary. He is a phenomenal route runner. He's good after the catch. He's great at the high point. He's such a complete receiver. Just stay healthy, man. All right, Monroe for oh my God, does he not have Blake Miller top 50? I believe is that him right there? Oh my God, he's got Blake Miller over Monroe Freeling. Yuck. I mean, Blake Miller to me personally, one, two, three, is my tackle six. I had to count him off. He's my number six. Ian Nachor seven, and they're back to back on my big board in the 40s. Let's talk about Freeling first. I mean, Freeling is also like Caden Proctor, a project. He to me is just um, a much better mover. He's better in space, and I think he's farther along in his development. So I think you can justify taking Monroe Freeling in the top 15. Proctor, I mean, the Lions at 17 is a good spot, but definitely not top 15. I mean, if the Browns took Freeling at six, like I would understand why they did it. And then again, I wouldn't be a fan. Like I think Carnell Tate is the right pick. So Freeling for me, I believe, is around like spot 24, 25 on my big board. I always put offensive line a little lower because I feel like it's so much easier for them to bust at the NFL level, especially these high upside guys. So I am a little lower. And like I said, 19 for Blake Miller is just insane to me. I have a mid second round grade on this dude. I personally wouldn't take him in the first round. I understand there's a good chance he does go. I can't justify being this high on him. Like, he is a big project, even more of a project than Freeling and Proctor, in my opinion. All right, 18, I can get behind this. Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. I believe Omar Cooper actually is number 18 on my big board as well. So twins, Daniel Jeremiah, right? The one and only time. This in this. But yeah, Omar Cooper is very similar to Makai Lemon. He feels like a cheaper, definitely not an off-brand Makai Lemon though. He's great after the catch. He's got good speed. He ran, I believe, a 4.42. He's got great hands. That game-winning catch that he had in the back of the end zone was arguably one of the most unbelievable catches I've ever seen in my life. And it's up there with like JSN when he was at Ohio State with his toe tap where he defied gravity. So Omar Cooper, I mean, with how the NFL is kind of translating now, like slot wide receivers are like the new thing in town. Like you got people like JSN dominating, Puka Nakua, Amon Ross St. Brown. Like there are a lot of slot dominant guys that are taking the league by storm, and a lot of them are top 10 receivers in the game. So I think the days of slot receiver falling in the draft are gone. I think Omar Cooper is definitely like to me his floor should be 21 to the Steelers. All right, Dylan Thieneman at 17. I personally have Thieneman, I believe, around 13 on my big board, so I'm a little bit higher on Thieneman than DJ is by a couple spots. Dylan Thieneman's awesome, man. Does he have Emmanuel McNeil Warren? Wow. Yeah, I mean, I also have EMW in my top 30. However, Thieneman's like 13 and McNeil Warren's like 22, 23. So I think Thieneman is better by a wide margin. I'm very surprised DJ has I always call him Eamon Ward because his first name's Emmanuel and he's a big safety. But EMW, just because Thieneman's a way better athlete, I would say he's probably, I mean, EMW is good in coverage as well, but Thieneman, I'd give the nod to in about almost every factor of the game. So it's like I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. And like I said, this isn't EMW hate. I can't believe he's over Thieneman. All right, here he is, Mr. Pro Day himself, Jermod McCoy, running a 4.38, 37-inch vertical, 10.7 broad. He crushed the combine. I don't even know if he was able to come out last year before he tore his ACL, if he would have tested that good. So the fact he is this far along in his recovery cycle, which it's been 15 months, but to be testing that good after an ACL tear, my oh my, I had to bump McCoy up like 5 spots on my big board. I think he's currently sitting in around the top 10. I believe he's number 9. So yeah, you don't got to convince me on Jermod McCoy. Kenyon Sadiq 14. I have Sadiq in the early 20s. I'm not this high on him. I mean, the production isn't great, but clearly he is just one of the best athletes we've ever seen at tight end, but he is smaller. He's a smaller tight end. He's like 6'3", 240, which the weight's not bad, but the height, he's on the shorter side. Sadiq's awesome weapon. You can play him in the slot effectively. He can play in line. He's going to make his money as a pro, as a pass catcher, not so much as a blocker, but he's a decent blocker, just not needs to develop it actually how DJ also mentions. But yeah, let's go ahead and I don't know why I highlighted that. I read it wrong. Um, all right, Spencer Fano, number 13. I'm a fan of Fano, top 20 grade. I believe he's number 16. The combine measured him 32 1/8. His pro day was 32 7/8 on the arm length, and that is a big difference because threshold is really like 33, so that does matter. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Fano can stick out tackle. He could also be a very high guard. I'm starting to come to the realization that I don't think, which I guess I'll wait to comment on it. But yeah, Fano is a very reliable offensive line, can really play anywhere on the line. So would be a good addition to the offensive line. Makai Lemon comes in at 12. Like I said, with how popular slot receivers are coming in the new era of the NFL, Makai Lemon is probably the best in the class at that, and probably is the wrong word. He is the best in the class. He makes unbelievable catches. He's great after the catch. He's strong, consistent. I really like Makai Lemon a ton, and yeah, I'm perfectly fine with him being number 12 overall here. Number 11, he goes Vega Ioane. I believe, once again, maybe we are twins. I believe Vega is my number 11 player as well. To me, by far the best pure guard in the class. He absolutely bullies people, just throws them out the way. Fucking Penn State's got him lining up at slot, putting him in motion, and just letting him run people over all the time. He's an incredible athlete at guard, ton of power. I'm all in on Vega Ioane. 10, France Manoa. Maybe we are twins. Maybe you stole my big board. I highly doubt it. You don't know who I am. But yeah, France Manoa. I'm very high on him. He's my top rated offensive lineman as well. He played utterly phenomenal in the college football playoffs, which I love to see. When you can step your game up when it matters most, that really does hold weight to me. So very good mover in space. The arm length checked out. I see a good starting tackle in Maui Noah's future. Oh my God. This has to be because of positional value to have Caleb Downs Knight. This is just crazy to me. easily a top 2 player in the draft, in my opinion. So 9 is just way, 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 way too low, in my opinion. Such a incredible player. There really are no flaws in his game other than his, I guess, high-end athleticism and potentially maybe his ACL health, which has raised some questions, but it looks like that got shot down. He can play in the nickel. He can play deep. He's best in the box. Just a incredible player and I would say generational type of player. So 9's too low for me. Mansour Lane. I also have Mansour Lane. I believe Mansour might be 7th on my big board. I believe he's number 7 in the class for me. It's so weird because the 2024 tape at Virginia Tech was bad. Like he was not good. 2025, his 2025 tape matches up with Jermod McCoy's 2024 tape that people glaze all the time, including myself, because he was phenomenal. But Mansour Lane was phenomenal this year as well. He rarely ever lost any reps. He didn't have a penalty problem like McCoy had. And I mean, he's a good athlete. He's got boundary size. He's like, I believe, 6 foot, 187. So that's solid. He I like Mansour Delane. I think he should be a top 10 pick in the draft, and the Saints at 8 is very intriguing for me. Oh my God. 7's going to be Ruben May. My throat's starting to hurt. Been an ongoing problem for me. But yeah, 7 is going to be Ruben Bain out of Miami. I have Ruben Bain 4th overall on my big board. I'm shocked he has David Bailey above. I even boosted David Bailey up my board today. I believe he is now up to 10. So maybe we're not twins on Maui Noah and Vega because they dropped a spot apiece to 11 and 12. Gotcha. But yeah, Bain is just tremendous. I get the concerns about the arm length, but then again, I don't. He's such a dominant run defender. He's such a dominant pass rusher. He has such a dynamic skill set. And the dude only cares about football. That's all he talks about every time you hear from him. He's not out doing other stuff. I love Ruben Bain to death. I think a team's going to get a incredible franchise-changing player with Bain. Oh my God, I didn't even realize Tate was still up here. Carnell Tate, 6th overall. Wow. I like Carnell Tate. He's my wide receiver 2 in the class behind Jordan Tyson. This feels high. Like, yeah, he's a true boundary receiver. He's got good size, pretty good athleticism. He's a good route runner. Doesn't drop the ball. I don't really know if he's elite at anything. I mean, he feels like a very high-end wide receiver too, kind of like a T. Higgins-esque player in the league, which T could be a wide receiver 1 in a lot of situations. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even think he's as good as T. Higgins. So like in my vision, Cardinal Tate's peak is like a borderline top 15 receiver. And that's just not good enough to be the number 6 overall player on the board for me personally. Arvell Reese number 5. I believe I have Reese number 6, so I'm here with it. I like he lists him as an edge, unlike some people that refuse to do it for some reason. Yeah, I think he's gonna fit Aaron Glenn's 3-4 system perfectly in New York. I mean, he's really built to be a 3-4 outside backer. He's shown a ton of progression as a pass rusher, so that is very nice to see. He's a awesome run defender. He's the best up there with Malachi Lawrence as the best athlete off the edge. I like Arvell Reese. Like I said, he's my number 6 overall player, so no problem for me. This is too high. David Bailey is not the best pass rusher in the draft. Or he is the best pass rusher. He's just not the best edge rusher. I mean, I get it. He had 14 and a half sacks. He's got a very deep skill set coming off the edge. He's a pretty good athlete. He's 6'3, 250. There's a lot to like. He really isn't a great run defender at all. Like he's got a long way to go as a run defender. He's not the best athlete in the world. Like I said, he's a good athlete. He's not an elite athlete by any means. I don't know. When I see David Bailey play, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude can be a really productive edge rusher in the league. Are you just a DPR though? That is the question that keeps getting my say I'm a dog, like my ears poked up. Are you going to be a DPR in the NFL though? Like that's my one concern for David Bailey. Number 3 is going to be Sonny Styles. He's my number 1 overall player in the draft. So yes, yes, yes. Thank you for having him top 3. He is the best athlete I've ever seen at middle linebacker. And he's 6'5", 240. He's only 21 years old. You couldn't literally draw a more ideal middle linebacker if you could. He can also play safety. He's very dynamic. He can also blitz. Then you look at the tape and you look at the numbers. He missed 1 tackle this past season. 1 as a middle linebacker. The dude is his game is pretty much flawless. Like he is a generational type talent and should be a top five pick. Me personally, I would take him third overall. I would take him third overall if I was the Cardinals. All right, number two is going to be Jeremiah Love. I have Jeremiah Love number three on my board behind the Ohio State boys and Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles. Like I said, yeah, Jeremiah Love's going to be a game changer for a franchise. And in a weaker draft class, I think he certainly could see his way to the top five, whether that's the Titans or Giants, or maybe someone trades up for him potentially out of nowhere. But yeah, Jeremiah Love's a phenomenal player. He can catch the ball. He's a good blocker. He's great on the ground. His contact balance is elite. His vision's awesome. Awesome player. Number one's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Like I said, quarterback value. I get it. He's my number five player just because I think he can be like a borderline top 10 fringe guy, like a Jared Goff in the NFL level. I don't know if he'll ever be a top five guy. That'd be my one problem. And I have four, in my book, generational franchise altering prospects in Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, and Ruben Bain. So Fernando lands five for me. But yeah, he's the clear quarterback one. So I appreciate this. Real quick before we end. And I guess I'll go to my big board personally to show you what I'm talking about. 'Cause I got some questions and I need them answered. And DJ won't answer them, but like maybe y'all can. Christian Miller is my number 23 player in the class. How is Christian Miller not a top 50 pick? He's an awesome athlete. He's 6'4, 320 pounds. He's a phenomenal run defender. But then, even at the end of the year, he turned his game to a new level and unlocked his pass rush really and was dominating for Georgia down the stretch. How is he not top 50? Emmanuel Pregnon out of Oregon utterly dominated all competition this past season at Oregon. How does he not land in your top 50? Cannot cannot understand it. AJ Halsey out of LSU. Keith Abney out of Arizona State. Chris Bell out of Louisville. If you have concerns about the injury with Bell, I get it. Still, to me, he was a first round pick before he got hurt. Still should be top 50. Keith Abney is one of the best nickel corners in this class. Don't understand why you're so low on him. AJ Halsey is awesome. I don't know how everyone doesn't love AJ Halsey. He had 8 interceptions over the past 2 years. He's a very hard hitting, strong safety. Okay, the athleticism's not great. He's not the smoothest mover. His instincts are so damn good. He's there before the quarterback lets go of the ball. Don't understand that. Derek Moore should be top 50 in my book. Traden Stukes, top 50. D'Angelo Ponds as well should be top 50. Gabe Akis, I guess, would be my last guy. And also Zachariah Branch out of Georgia. Like I said, I'm very high on. Those guys, I'm having a hard time, DJ. Like, I need that explained to me of how those guys, especially the first ones I named, how they don't crack your top 50. But that's going to be the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And until next time, my friends, peace.